Hello everyone, welcome to NCERT Audiobook. Today we start the fourth lesson of class 12th, Reproductive Health. You have learned about human reproductive system and its function in chapter 3. Now let us discuss a closely related topic, reproductive health. What do we understand by this term? The term simply refers to the healthy reproductive organs with the normal functions. However, it has a broader perspectives and includes the emotional and social aspects of reproduction also. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), reproductive health means a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is physical, emotional, behavioral and social. Therefore, a society with people having physically and functionally normal reproductive organs and normal emotional and behavioral interactions among them in all sex related aspects might be called reproductively healthy. Why is it significant to maintain reproductive health and what are the methods taken up to achieve it? Let us examine them. Reproductive health problem and strategies. India was amongst the first country in the world to indicate action plans and programs at the national levels to attain total reproductive health as a social goal. These programs, called family planning, were initiated in 1951 and were periodically assessed over the past decades. Improved programs covering wider reproductive related areas are currently in operations under the popular name Reproductive and Child Health Care (RCH) programs. Creating awareness among the people about various reproductive related aspects and providing facilities and support for building up a reproductively healthy society are the major tasks under this program. With the help of audiovisual and the print media, governmental and non-governmental agencies have taken various steps to create awareness among the people about reproductions related aspects. Parents, other close relatives, teachers and friends also have a major role in the disseminations of the above information. Introduction of sex education in schools should also be encouraged to provide right information to the young so as to discourage children from behaving in myths and having misconceptions about sex related aspects. Proper information about reproductive organs, adolescence and related changes, safe the hygienic sexual practices, sexually transmitted disease, STD, AIDS, etc. would help people, especially those in the adolescent age group, to lead a reproductively healthy life, educating people, especially fertile couples and those in marriageable age group, about available birth control options, care of pregnant mother, postnatal care of the mother and child, importance of breastfeeding, equal opportunities for the male and female child, etc. would address the importance of bringing up conscious healthy families to desired size, awareness of problem due to uncontrolled population growth, social evils like sex abuse and sex related crimes, etc. need to be created to enable people to think and takes up necessary steps to prevent them and nearby build up a socially responsible and healthy society. Successful implementations of various actions plans to attain reproductive health requires strong infrastructural facilities, professional expertise and material supports. These are essential to provide medical assistance and care of people in reproduction related problems like pregnancy, delivery, STDs, abortions, contraceptions, menstrual problem, infertility, etc. Implementations of better techniques and new strategies from time to time are also required to provide more efficient care and assistance to people. Statutory ban of amniocentesis, a fetal sex determination test based on the chromosomal pattern in the amniotic fluid surrounding the developing embryo. For sex determination to legally check increasing female feticides, massive child immunization, etc. are some programs that merit mention in the connection. Research on various reproductive related areas are encouraged and supported by governmental and non-governmental agencies to find out new methods and or to improve upon the existing ones. Do you know that Saheli, a new oral contraceptive for the females, was developed by scientists at Central Drug Research Institute CDRI in Lucknow, India. Better awareness about the sex related matters, increased number of medically assisted deliveries and best postnatal care, leading to decreased maternal and infant mortality rates, increased the number of couples with small families, better detections and cures of STDs, and overall increased medical facilities for all sex related problems, etc. All indicates improved reproductive health of the society. 4.2 Population explosion and birth control. In the last century, an all-round development in various fields significantly improved the quality of the life of the people. However, increased health facilities along with the better living conditions had an explosive impact on the growth of population. The world population, which was around 2 billion in 1900, rocked about 6 billion by 2000. A similar trend was observed in India too. A population which was approximately 350 million at the time of our independence reached close to the billion mark by 2000 and crossed 1 billion in May 2000. That means every sixth person in the world is an Indian. A rapid decline in death rate, maternal mortality rate MMR and infant mortality rate IMR, as well as an increases in number of people in reproductive age are probably reasons for this. Through our RCH problem, through we could bring down the population growth rate, it was only manageable according to the 2001 census report. The population growth rate was still around 1.7%, that is 1,000 year, a rate at which our population could be doubled in 33 years. Such an alarming growth rate could lead to be an absolute security of the even and basic requirements, that is food, shelter and clothing. In spite of significant progress made in those areas, therefore the government was forced to take up serious measures to check this population growth rate. The most important step to overcome this problem is to motivate smaller families by using various contraceptive methods. You might have seen advertisement in the media as well as posters, bills, etc. showing a happy couple with two children with a slogan Hum do hamare do. We too are two. Many couples, mostly the young urban working ones, have even adopted an one child norm. statutory raising of the marriageable age of the female to 18 years and that the males to 21 years, and incentives given to couples with small families are two of the other measures taken to tackle this problem. Let us describe some of the commonly used contraceptive methods which have prevent unwanted pregnancy. An ideal contraceptive should be user friendly, easily available, effective and reversible with no or least side effects. Should be in no way interfere with the sexual drive, desire and or the sexual act of the user. A wide range of contraceptive methods are presently available which could be broadly grouped into following category, namely natural, traditional, barrier, IUDs, oral contraceptives, injectable, implants and surgical method. Natural method work as the principle of avoiding changes of ovum and sperm meeting periodic. Abstinence is one such method in which the couple avoid or abstain from coitus from days 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle, when ovulation could be expected, as the chance of fertilization are very high during this period. It is called the fertile period. Therefore, by abstaining from coitus during this period, conceptions could be prevented. Withdrawal or coitus interrupt is another method in which the male partner withdraw his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation so as to avoid insemination. Lactational amenorrhea absence of menstruation method is based on the fact of the ovulation and therefore the cycle do not occur during the period of intense lactation following parturition. Therefore, as long as the mother breastfeeding the child fully, chances of conceptions are almost nil. However, this method has been reported to be effective only up to a maximum period of 6 months following parturition. As no medicines or drugs are used in these methods, side effects are almost nil. Chances of failure through of these methods are also high. In barrier method, ovum and sperms are prevented from physically meeting with the help of barriers. Such methods are available for both females and males. Condoms are the barriers made as a thin rubber latex sheath that are used to cover the penis in the male or vagina and cervix in the female just before coitus so that the ejaculation semen would not enter into the female reproductive tract. This can prevent conceptions. Nerode is a popular brand of condoms for the male. Use of condoms has increased in recent years due to its additional benefits of protecting the users from contracting STDs and AIDS. Both the males and females condoms are disposable, can be self-inserted and thereby gives privacy to the user. Diaphragms of cervical caps and valves are also barriers made up of rubber that are inserted into female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during coitus. They are reusable. Spermicidal creams, jellies, and foams are usually used along with these barriers to increase their contraceptive efficiency. Another effective and popular method is the use of intrauterine device IUDs. These devices are inserted by doctors or expert nurses in the uterus through vagina. These intrauterine devices are presently available as a non-mediated caps, IUDs, copper-releasing IUDs, and the hormone-releasing IUDs, progesterone. IUDs increases the phagocytosis of sperms and the fertilization capacity of the sperms. The hormone releasing IUDs in addition make the uterus unsuitable for implantation and the cervix hostile to the sperms. IUDs are ideal contraceptives for the females who want to daily pregnancy and or space children. It is one of the most widely accepted method of the contraceptions in India. Oral administrations of small doses of either progesterone and progesterone estrogen combinations in another contraceptive method used by the females. They are used in the form of tablets and hence are popularly called the pills. Pills have to be taken daily for a period of 21 days, starting preferably within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle. After a gap of 7 days, it has to be repeated in the same pattern till the female desires to prevent conceptions. They inhibit ovulation and implantation as well as alter the quality of cervical mucus to prevent retard entry of the sperms. Pills are very effective with lesser side effects and are well accepted by females. Saheli, the new oral contraceptives for the females, contains the non-steroid preparations. It is the once a week pills with a very few side effects and high contraceptive values. Progesterone alone or in combinations with the estrogen can also be used by females as injections of implants under the skin. Their mode of action is similar to that the pills and their effective periods are much longer. Administrations of the progesterone or the progesterone estrogen combinations or IUDs within 72 hours of coitus have been found to be very effective as the emergency contraceptive as they could be used to avoid possible pregnancy during to rape or casual unprotected intercourse. Surgical methods are also called sterilization are generally advised to the male and female partner as a terminal method to prevent any more pregnancy. Surgical inventions blocks gamete transfer and therefore prevent the conception sterilization produces in the male called vasectomy and that in female tuberculosis. In vasectomy, a small part of the defense is removed to tied up through a small insections of the scrotums, whereas tuberculosis, a small part of the fallopian tubes is removed or tied up through a small incisions in the abdomen or through vagina. These techniques are highly effectively but reversibility is very poor. It needs to be emphasized that the selections of the suitable contraceptive methods and its use should always be undertaken in consultation with qualified and medical professionals. One must also remember that reproductive health, in fact, they are practiced against the natural reproductive events that is conceptions, pregnancy. One is forced to use these methods either to prevent pregnancy or to delay or space pregnancy due to personal reasons. No doubt, the widespread use of these methods have a significant role in the checking and controlled growth population. However, their possible ill effect like mucosa, abdominal pain, breakthrough, bleeding, irregular menstrual bleeding or even breast cancer, though not very significant, should be totally ignored. Medical termination of pregnancy MTP. Intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term is called medical termination of pregnancy MTP or induced abortion. Nearly 45 to 50 million MTPs are performed in a year all over the world, which accounts to one-fifth of the total number of the conceives pregnancy in a year. Obviously, MTP has a significant role in decreasing the population through it is not meant for that purpose. Whether to accept legalized MTPs or not is being debated upon in many countries due to emotional, ethical, religious and social issues involved in it. Government of India legalized MTP in 1971 with some strict conditions to avoid this minute misuse. Such restrictions are all the more important to check indiscriminate and illegal female feticides which are reported to be high in India. Why MTP? Obviously, the answer is to get rid the unwanted pregnancies either due to the casual unprotected intercourse or failure of the contraceptions used during coitus or rapes. MTPs are also essential in certain cases where continuations of the pregnancy could be harmful or even fatal either to be the mother or to the fetus or both. MTPs are considered relatively safe during first trimester, that is up to 12 weeks of pregnancy. Second trimester abortions are much more risky. One distributing trends observed is that a majority of the MTPs are performed legally by unqualified quacks, which are not only unsafe but could be fatal too. Another dangerous trait is the misuse of amniocentesis to determine the sex of the unborn child. Frequently, if the fetus is found to be female, it is followed by MTP. This is totally against what is legal. Such practice should be avoided because these are dangerous both for the young mother and the fetus. Effective counseling on the need to avoid unprotected coitus and the risk factor involved in the illegal abortions, as well as providing more health care facilities, could reverse the mentioned unhealthy trend. Sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. Diseases or infections which are transmitted through sexual intercourse are collectively called sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, or Vernal's diseases (VD) or reproductive tract infections (RTI), gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, trichomonasis, hepatitis B, and of course the most discussed infectious in recent years, HIV leading to AIDS, are some of the common STDs. Among these, HIV infection is most dangerous and discussed in detail in chapter 8. Some of these infections like hepatitis B and HIV can also be transmitted by sharing of injection needles, surgical instruments, etc. with infected person to transfusion of the blood or from the infected mother to the fetus too. Except, the, except for hepatitis B, genital herpes and the HIV infections, other diseases are comparatively curable if detected early and treated properly. Early symptoms of most of are minor and including itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swelling, etc. in the genital region. Infected females may often be asymptomatic and hence be remains undetected for long. Absence or less significant symptoms in the early stages of the infections and the social stigma attached to the STDs deter the infected person from going for timely detections and proper treatment. This could lead to complications later, which include pelvic inflammatory diseases, PID, abortions, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancies, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract. STDs are the major threat to the healthy society. Therefore, preventing or early detections and cure of these diseases are given the prime considerations under the reproductive health care program. Through all the persons are vulnerable to these infections, their Incidents are reported to be very high among the person in the age group of 15 to 24 years. The age group to which you also belong, there is no reason to panic because prevention is possible. One could be free of these infections by following the simple principles given below. First, avoid the sex with unknown partners, multiple partners. Always use condoms during coitus. In case of the doubt, one should go to the qualified doctor for early detections and get completely treatment if diagnosed with disease. Infertility. A discussions on the reproductive health is incomplete without the mention of infertility. A large number of the couples all over the world, including India, are infertile. That is, they are unable to produce children in spite of unprotected sexual cohabitations. This reason for this could be many physical, congenital disease, drugs, immunological, and even physiological. In India, often the females are blamed for the couple being childless, but more often than not, the problem lies in the male partner. Specialized healthcare units, infertility clinics, etc., could help in the diagnosis of corrective treatment of some of these disorders and enable these couples to have a children. However, where such a corrections are not possible, the couples could be assisted to have child through certain special techniques, commonly known as assisted reproductive techniques, ART. In vitro fertilization, IVF, fertilization outside the body in most similar condition as that in the body, followed by embryo transfer, ET, is one of the such method. In this method, popularly known as test tube babies program. Ova from the wife donor female and sperms from the husband or donor male are collected, are induced to the zygote under stimulated condition in the laboratory. The zygote or early embryos with up to 8 blastomeres could then to be transferred into the fallopian tube or ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer, and embryos with more than 8 blastomeres into the uterus. AUT's intrauterine transfer to complete its further development. Embryos formed in vivo fertilizations fusion of the gametes within the female also could be used for such a transfer to assist those females who cannot conceive. Transfer of an ovum collected from a donor into the fallopian tube, GIFT. Gamete intrafallopian transfer of another female who cannot produce one but can provide suitable environment for fertilization and further developments is another method. Attempt intracytoplasmic sperm injections is another specialized producers to form an embryo in the laboratory in which a sperm is directly injected into the ovum. Infertility cases, either due to the inability of the male partner to inseminate the female or due to very low sperm count in the ejaculation, could be corrected by artificial insemination AI technique. In this technique, the semen collected either from the husband or the healthy donor is artificially introduced either into the vagina, into the uterus, IUA, intrauterine inseminations of the female. Through options are many. All these techniques are require extremely high precautions handling by specialized professionals and expensive instrumentation. Therefore, these facilities are presently available only in few centers in the country. Obviously, their benefits is affordable to only a limited number of the people. Emotional, religious, and the social factors are also deterrents in the adoptions of this method, since the ultimate aim of all these procedures to be have a children. In India, we have so many orphaned and deceased children who could probably not survive till maturity unless taken care of. Our laws permit legal adoption, and it is as yet one of the best methods for couples looking for parenthood.